everybody. Welcome to the Grays Athletic end of season 2017 presentation evening and the Hall of Fame induction for this year. First person I'd like to present tonight is the interim chairman. He's done a really good job this year. That's Mr. Steve Skinner. It's not been easy this year, but I, for one, think the interim board has done a great job in getting the fans back in touch with the club. Okay, well done, Steve.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the introduction, Chris, and I'd just like to welcome you all. Thanks very much for coming. It's some of these events, once the football season finishes, people don't actually attend them because they switch off from football and don't start back until pre-season. So it's nice to see you all. It's the first type of event we've run whereby we've had a presentation that spans from our youth teams right the way through to the Hall of Fame. So it's nice to see everybody in such a varying age range as well. From our point of view, as Chris said, the interim board, we have had a tough and challenging time, but we've really enjoyed, steering the club through this tricky time. And the fact that the supporters now own the football club is a big achievement from not just the board, but all of our volunteers and all of the fans that have got behind us. Obviously, if people want to know more about community share ownership or supporting the 12th man scheme, which are both critical to our continued survival, then obviously people at the back will be able to provide you with all the information. And we appreciate every bit of support that we get. Okay, as far as the optimism for next season, I know obviously we ended up being relegated, but in terms of next season, we are looking very strong in the league that we're going to be in. We've got 20 Essex derbies to look forward to. So, and also Jamie and Darren are starting to look at the players that we had last season that are going to stick with us, and also some new signings as well. So there's a lot of optimism. You know that the free school application that we were waiting on was approved. So that's the best news we've had in the last 7 years in terms of us being homeless, and it's the best chance for us to get back into Grays, hopefully around August, September 2019. So that was a very big announcement, and hopefully you'll hear more about that in the coming months. From my point of view now, just enjoy yourself at the bar, okay, and also the food, and enjoy the presentations. And again, thank you very much for coming.
Mr. Palmer, Glimbo.
Evening all, my name is Glyn Barham, I'm part of the interim board in my sins, and Steve knows nothing about this part of the in true Eamon Andrews fashion, the players can ask an elder who Eamon Andrews is, Jamie should know. It's fallen to me as a surprise or illustrious interim chairman with a special award for services rendered above and beyond the call of duty. Unless you've ever been closely involved with the running of the club, particularly this last year, it's impossible to appreciate just how such a role can take over your life completely, especially if you've got 7 years, 1 month, and 20 days to retirement. It's a mark of this man that throughout the 10 years interim chair, Steve has maintained a professional demeanour. There was that one time, I think. And has somehow managed to run a business, a family, and lead the club all simultaneously. It's no exaggeration to state that without this man's efforts being at the helm, we certainly wouldn't be as far forward as we are today. Financial support, of course, is always welcome, but in my opinion, the most valuable thing that any volunteer can offer is their time and their experience. I think the most telling evidence of what a fantastic job Steve's done juggling these roles is that, to date at least, his son Chaz has not filed for divorce. Therefore, I take immense pleasure in presenting Steve with a small token of the club's esteem and gratitude for what you've done this year.
that's a really nice gesture, and I really do appreciate that. But what we want to try and do is, from our point of view, is not to have the club being about a chairman or an interim board. You know, it is a supporter-owned club. There's 225 people that have trusted us to run the football club, and they've bought shares within our football club. So it truly is a big family. It's never ever going to be about one person ever again. So I just want to thank you all, and thank you very much to all the people that put towards this. I'm hoping it's a £10 HMV voucher. So thank you very much. I'd like to hand over now to one of our elder statesman supporters. When I said we had a big age range, I was thinking of John Fair, who celebrated a birthday last week, and he would like to say a few words.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to talk about the last game, because at the end of the game, I'm going to cry in a minute. I'm sorry about that. Glenn and my friend here, they came up to me and offered me a huge envelope, and I'll be quite frank with you, I didn't open it. I took it home and I settled down quiet, and I thought, well, because I live at home now, I opened it up, and it was huge envelope, card, and got a smashing picture on it on the front. There were two very old boys with cloth caps. Well, I don't wear a cloth cap, and I can't remember what it said, but it was taking the mickey a little bit, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was smashing. And then when I opened it up, there was all these signatures from the club, the committee members, the people running, and also a huge amount of supporters. Now, I've supported Grace for a long time, and I used to go and watch the game and come out. And I never went into the clubhouse, so I never really met anybody. Now, I know most of you by sight, but I don't talk to you. Well, basically, I've got nothing to talk about. So I live on my own. And, grandstand, I always sat down the front, so all the lads were at the back, and I couldn't talk to them there, you know, and to see that you've all gone to the trouble of signing this card. I haven't counted the signatures, but there must be between 60 and 100 on there, I think. And I'm so thrilled to think you actually knew me, and I can't say more, but really. Even some of the players, you know, that was special. That was, yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, and I hope to be there next year. I don't know, but I hope to be.
I don't know why 87, but it was 87.
And that's what it means, ladies and gentlemen. The new Greys, from a 0 to 100. Once you're a blue, you're always a blue. And we've got the Hall of Famers here tonight, and, you know, we'll never forget you, okay? Once a blue, always a blue, okay? New Greys, yeah? Community Football Club. Okay, so we're going from one end of the spectrum to the other now, and we're going to the youth teams, and Mr. Skinner is going to do a presentation or two, okay?
Sorry, this is my last stint. I'll be leaving stage after this one. You won't see me back, so that's a relief for you all. One of the things we've tried to look at this year is to re-engage with the youth setup of the football club, and what's happened is that we've managed to, for next season, set up a new under-12s team, and we'll also have a new under-13s team. Our existing 14s are staying with us, and we'll have our 16s, 17s and 18s as well. So trying to build the club right from the very foundation. I had the pleasure of seeing all of our youth teams play last season, and one of the teams that particularly excelled was our under-16s. They had a fantastic season. They played against senior teams such as Ipswich, who they beat, Barnet, who they beat, Crystal Palace, who they got a draw with, and they went all the way to the final of the Amateur Football Alliance, and they won the final there 6-0. Myself and 2 or 3 other of the board went to see them, and they play an absolutely fantastic brand of football, and an absolute credit to our football club. What happened towards the end of the season, Jamie had 7 or 8 of those boys in training with the first team once a week, and also 3 of the lads managed to make their first team debuts, and others were also appearing on the bench as well, and that bodes well for the seasons ahead. So I would like to ask Phil and Frank, and also the captain of the side, Brian, to come up and receive that AFA Cup once again in front of all of our fans. Please give them a big round of applause.
Phil, you don't escape that lightly. Right, obviously a great year. I've heard from a lot of people the good things you're doing. What's your hopes for next season?
Hopefully, the current 16 squad, some will permeate into the reserves. Plus, hopefully, the ones that progress to the first team will be in and around the first team, strike on from that. This is a big year for, obviously, under 16s because it's their GCSE years. So, what we've had slight interruptions towards the end of the season when people having to do tutorials and revision on bits and pieces like that. But what we're trying to get through to them, football is one side, the academic side is another side, but the two go hand in hand because football can be short-lived. A few of them are looking to branch out and go on to college schemes, etc., etc. But if they've got a love of the game, they can come back, whether they've finished it, go on to sixth form and university and then come back to play for Grace, that'd be fantastic. But we're looking to try and put a strong representation in for the FA Youth Cup for next season.
Brilliant, good luck. Well done, boys.
This next award goes to one of our best players who recently come back. It should be done last year. He played over 250 games for us. It is Joe Carlos.
Joe, you don't escape that easily either. Right, you're getting near to the 300. Nearly. I think you are, yeah. And you're nearly there. And there's only sort of a very elite group of people that's ever played 300 times in this club. We're going to see you next year?
100%.
That's what we wanted, boys, isn't it? Yeah? Supporter of the year. Now, to present this one is the gaffer, Jamie Stewart, who this year has done, well, brilliantly, because I think most of us thought it would be really a complete nightmare. But the only person that could lead us this year was this man, and he's done fantastically well. Okay? So, Jeremy, and supporting him now, okay?
And the winner is Mr. David Seaman.
This was voted for by the interim board. Well deserved. There's not many games David misses. In fact, it's probably only any David misses. David, you don't escape either. Okay, a few words, David.
Good evening. This has come as a complete shock, actually. There's other people out there that have done far more for this club than me. I mean, I just go, I do the reports, I just go because I love it. I'd like to say a big thank you to my wife, who has suffered over the close, well, during the season. She's now got me working in the garden, in the house, and all those jobs I didn't do. But I'd also like to pay tribute to the interim board, because I think without their efforts, we wouldn't all be standing here today. So, and especially Steve Skinner. I know he's already had an award, but the amount of work he does behind the scenes is amazing. So, thank you for this award. It's really quite simple.
Okay, so now we have the award for Young Player of the Year, and it's to be presented by one of our longest serving supporters, Mr. Graham Deeds.
And the winner of the Young Players of the Year is Harry Watkins.
You're not getting away that lot, So you are one of the few survivors from the start, aren't you? So, one, we're going to see you next year.
Most definitely.
That's all we wanted, boys, wasn't it? Hey, boys and girls? And how do you feel you've progressed this year? From the start to now? Because everybody here could see the progression throughout the season. You know, you started off the season, youth team, or youth team, been in pre-season friendlies, then you come through, David Kingstonian was a big turning point. And how do you feel you are now to where you were when you started with the gaffer?
I'd say, I don't know really. When I come to Grays, I was still playing boys football, and then coming in and Jamie gave me my chance, made me become a man, and now I'm playing like a man.
Well, next year you just got to keep doing what you've done towards the end of last season.
I just want to say thanks to the fans for being loyal and coming to the games without doubt. Thank you.
Harry Watkins. Well, next year you just got to keep doing what you've done towards the end of last season.
I just want to say thanks to the fans for being loyal and coming to the games without doubt. Thank you.
Harry Watkins. So, Jamie, I've already got 2 off your list, okay? Yeah, that's a verbal agreement. There's enough people here to actually witness it. Do you want how many more, do you want? 9 more? Right, okay. To present the next award is Dave Raven.
What's it for?
Being the elder statesman, it's very rare that someone comes into a coaching team that you learn an awful lot from. And this season, having been here 6 years already, I've got to work with some very good people on the coaching staff. But you never appreciate what goes on behind the scenes in terms of the support from the medical side. And we've had the good fortunes of very good physios. This year we had someone come in who is, in football, the best physio I've worked with. And learned an awful lot from. And it's been an absolute pleasure, start to end of the season. Lauren.
Oh, you have, yeah. Well, I'm not going to do any questions. It's literally like an Oscar speech at the moment. It's like sort of a thank you and whatever.
Okay, thank you very much. I really wasn't expecting this. I've never had an award before. It's been a very interesting season. I'm just gutted that I haven't been around for the last part of it, but onwards and upwards to next season.
It was an Oscar speech. Okay, it's Glenn Barber again.
In answer to a question asked about 2 minutes ago, can I leave the stage? The answer should have been no. Mr. Raven, please. I thought you were going to the ladies and stuff. You've been worried there. Back up on stage, please, sir. It's like his argument, never use 2 words when 3,000 will do it. Go all around the houses. Up you come on. First of all, I'd like to start by apologising for presenting this in English. There will be a Scouse translation available after the event. What can I say about Mr. Raven here that hasn't already been said? I'm going to have a pretty good go, I think. According to Facebook, David and I have been friends, this is very comments there, friends for a number of years, but for some strange reason, it feels like a lot longer. If I had realised that Brexit meant shipping Mr. Raven off to the frozen north, I may well have voted in favour of it. To say that he'll be missed is naturally an understatement. I'm not qualified to comment on his abilities as a scout, so be thankful for that, except to say that I've seen him wearing shorts, and it is not a pretty sight. Baden Powell would be horrified. My personal experiences of this man largely involve regular chase-up texts and emails at some ungodly hour of the night when a programme article deadline is imminent. But give him his due, he's rarely been the last to submit the article, Jamie, and more importantly, the sheer quality of Fern's writing makes the £2 cover price of the programme an absolute steal. Thank you. Yeah. I'm actually personally a bit annoyed that he's chosen to leave the club at this particular point in time. Nothing to do with the club or the new ground, it's just that it's taken me this long to tune to his accent. I'm reliably informed that he'll be working with open arms when he returns abroad, so to help him settle in, I'm pleased to present David with a small, well actually it's 4XL, token of our appreciation for all that he's brought to the table. Thank you, David. And you have to open this now before you speak. Next, just time to Now, David, it fits me, so it should fit you quite easily. He has to wear it for the rest of the evening, that's the law. Thank you. Down. That would be so much better said, though, if you had some, top. Where are you going to find such a thing? That's the 4XL bit, by the way, yeah? Not the outfit, just the wig, yeah?
Afgebroken.
It's on the wrong size, is it? I've got some super in my bag. There's a slightly less tape to get rid of.
I promise not to ramble. It's been a lifelong ambition to look like Terry McDermott. Google's your friend on that, lads.
Hello? Good. I thought it was that bit off South Park, Glenn, when you had the Saddam Hussein bit and all that coming through.
Can't believe it fits. 6 years, what can I say? The funny thing is I feel like a bit of a yo-yo because we're moving to Liverpool. We're moving later this year. We're not actually going. We're moving as a family, but my work won't let me work from home. So I've got to stay down here. So I'll only be wearing this at the weekends. And I won't be at our games unless it's during the week. Now I'm trying to get my best Scouse accent going before I finish this bit of the ramble. I will be around to give Jamie, Dan, and Phil some support during the week. As you know, I got brought into the first team set up by Hakan when Ricardo De Vivo left to go to Dynamo Kiev. I haven't been so fortunate because every manager since has made me stay. And I've been really lucky in some of the guys I've got to work with. And one of the things I said to Steve is what's made it really hard this year, and I said the same to my wife, this has come at the worst possible time because despite the fact we've got a relegated, the future is looking so good for this club. Now that you're all my boss, the supporters being able to take over this club is something I wanted to do for a long time. I feel like I'm a supporter as well. Once a blue, always is, always a blue. And I feel ever since we were all digging up the grass and filling those bin bags at Rush Green that we've all been in this together. And you really took me into your heart, and I feel a part of you as a family. And I've come to love this club in a way I've never loved any football club before. And I've made some really good friends here, and I'll never forget any of this. And I will try and get to games when I'm down here, but for the short term, I will be sticking around to give Jamie as much as help as I possibly can. One thing I do want to say is, I believe that the club is now in the best possible hands. I think one of the good signs of a great team is that you can all disagree when you need to. Sometimes you need that different opinion, that different voice. That doesn't always go with the flow, doesn't always say the same thing. And we've said the same thing here tonight, and as Tony Packer probably remembers from Burgess Hill, we were probably on the verge of all killing each other outside the dressing room. And then we all got brought together by the fact that they didn't decide to put a report and said we left the dressing room in a bit of a mess. And considering I've got a terribly untidy bedroom, we took great offence at that, didn't we, Darren? And really took them to task. But with Jamie, I think we've finally got the man to take us forward, to take you guys forward, and for you to take Jamie forward with the club. And a great assistant manager in Darren. Darren's come in. One of the big things we wanted to do at the end of this season was sort out behind the scenes. I think we've done that. I think you saw then an improvement in the performances in towards the end of the season, up until the last game. But the less we say about that, the better. Finally, I just want to say I love you all. I really do. Thank you very much.
Okay, the next award is the first Hall of Fame award of the evening. This is a supporters award, and it's always been said that this one is in recognition of a great supporter, and it's in memory of a great supporter. Now, Brian Coker was instrumental in keeping this club alive in the late 70s and early 80s. It was his hard work that persuaded a certain Ron Billings to buy the recreation ground, which basically kept the club alive at a time when we was even in worse crap street than we have been. So tonight, his daughter, Alison, is going to present the award, the Brian Coker Award, to a great loyal club servant, Alison.
This year's award goes to somebody who knew the Rec very well, even before his days of being a supporter, through his commitment and involvement to club football and especially Chadwell Bisons. He committed himself so much to the club from about 2001-2002 season and volunteered to become the club's groundsman. On his 70th birthday, he sponsored the game, of which all his family attended, and he's got a family member here tonight to watch this award. His favourite player for this season has been Kieran Bishop. His favourite player of all time is Jamie Stewart, but he's also got a soft spot for Dean Saunders, who I believe gave him a little gift on our trip down to Wrexham. I'm therefore delighted to say that the winner of this year's Brian Coker Memorial Award and the sixth person I'm inducting into the Grays Athletic Hall of Fame is Pete Simons.
Peter, you're going to have to say a few words, okay?
2000 come my end of my working life and a full-time commitment to Grays, and I've thoroughly enjoyed every minute of it. I mean, just saying about Jamie and the likes. But I'd go through every player if I wanted to. And we've all had fun. And that was the main thing. And he still takes the mickey out of me today. But that's the good side of it. Bad side is, I think we've still got a lot of fight to go. And let's hope we can keep it going. And I think we've all done very well so far. Give it another year and we'll be back. Thank you.
It's working, yeah. Good. Mel, congratulations.
Thank you very much, first of all, and it's a real honour. 2 spells here, 2 wonderful spells. Four. Every time I came back to the club, it seemed to kind of move forward and progress. I first came here from Blackpool, and I was about the club for probably about a season. Came here, and it was a real kind of stepping stone to getting back into the league. Coming back many years. Today it's the first time I've been back to the club in the morning.
You left in 2004.
Yeah, so
you left the year before we became.
Right, so just is there any coincidence? It's great to come back. Obviously, very different circumstances to when I was here, but just listening to everything that's happening at the moment, I think the club's in good hands and moving in the right direction. And I'll be looking out, and any support I can give. Like you say, once a blue, always a blue.
Okay, well, if there's one particular memory you have, what would it be of your time playing for Grace?
Quite a lot of good memories. Maybe all the replays in the FA Cup against Margate and the 4 penalty saves in the shooting.
Yes. That's not bad, man. Mel Capleton, ladies and gentlemen.